Good evening and welcome to another episode of My Fiber Fun. I'm a little late today because I have spent the past couple of days doing some house cleaning and things like that. I just about have my kitchen together and I just about almost have my living room together. It's just a matter of putting away a lot of junk and that's it. So it's been fairly easy. I'm taking my time. I'm pacing myself. I need to mop, but I decided to stop for the day and just rest and relax for the rest of the day. Well, as you saw in the title, I have Happy Mail. So we will sing our song at the end. We'll save this for the finale of the video. This was a total surprise. And if you happen to have watched yesterday's ostomy video, you would have seen when I received the mail, I actually thought that it was the part that I ordered for my walker, my U-step walker. I actually ordered this tray, which you can use for eating, carrying your cups, and transporting things. It also has a basket, a front-loading basket to it. If you go to the store, you can slide the tray in and use the basket at the store. I don't plan on leaving the house with it. I'll just have my regular back thing on it, but it snaps on and snaps off. So I thought that that was a good accessory to have, and so I ordered it, and it's supposed to arrive on the 7th, which will be on Tuesday. But what happened was when this arrived, I thought that this was it, and I announced in the video, I said my U-step thing came in. It came early. Little did I know it was a total surprise to receive this package. And it has come from, well, I'll announce who it came from when we get to it. But I will tell you, it's from the state of New York. Okay, New York, which is also a neighbor to me. It's far, but it's not that far. I could drive there in a day at least. My sister is taking many day trips to New York where they go early in the morning, they shop, and then they come back. And I have actually been to New York by way of Toronto, Canada, going to Niagara Falls, and then we went to a town called Fort York, which I understand is in the state of New York, and it was like right there. So we got to tour that. So memories. In fact, I will tour it on the app that's on the Meta thing. Okay. Before we get to the metaverse, I will tell you about my experience, what I think about it, and all of that. As you all know, I purchased it on Friday. Got it at a steal, brand new. I will show it to you. And fortunately, I paid a lot less. I paid half to what it cost. I did get the Meta Quest 3S, and the S stands for simplified. You have the Meta Quest 1, of course, which was called Oculus. Then you have the Meta Quest 2, which is it's not outdated, but it's not as improved as the Meta Quest 3. Then you have the Meta Quest 3. And so the Meta Quest 3S, which is simplified, is not as expensive as the regular Meta Quest 3, but it has the exact same features with the exception of the eye thing. And so the eye thing is compatible or comparable to Meta Quest 2, but everything else is comparable to Meta Quest 3 at a cheaper price. So not only did I get it brand new at a cheaper price, I also got it brand new at half price because it was a used game that had been, I guess the person, from what I was told, didn't like the simplified because of the eye part of it. And I hear that is a problem, but they say for new people, you don't even know the difference between the 3 and the 3S because you've never played on the 3. So therefore, people who have played on the 3 would prefer that visual. And for me, it doesn't really matter as long as I can see. That's it. It's not blurry or anything. The resolution just isn't as sharp, but it's sharp enough for me. Believe me, it is sharp, okay? Very sharp. So it doesn't even matter. Now, if I ever picked up a Meta Quest 3, then I might say, uh-oh, I'd rather have this, but nope, not doing it. I'm sticking with this. And they say this is the best for newcomers. Comers, not cumbers, but comers. So I have it, and I'll show it to you in a minute. But before we get to that, let's get to the projects. Okay, I finished the bib. And guess what, you guys? I was going to go and buy some Velcro. And I happened to be in my spare room where I have a lot of my old crafts stored. And the crafts, you all remember my mother's late friend whose son called me over to get all of her craft stuff. Most of it was embroidery stuff, a few odds and ends, and a basket. I got a basket, which I loved, and a few other things. Anyway, in the sewing portion, she had this. That's what I was getting ready to go and spend money for, so I'm saving because she has a whole row of Velcro here. It's older, you can tell by the look of it, but that's okay. It works, okay? So I will be using the Velcro on today to add to sew to this bib, which is the bib that's going as a gift. And I will be using it to sew, let me put that there. And I will be using it to sew to my bib. So I reworked, I frogged the whole bib, like I told you I would be doing. I frogged it and I reworked it. What I did was I added, like I said, less stitches. I used the same amount of stitches that I used for the original bib. And I just made it longer, that's all. So, and it's still a watermelon bib. And so that worked. I still have just a wee bit puckering in the neck, but you can't really tell unless I point it out. But this is how it is, and I will be putting the Velcro to it later today to fasten it, or this evening. You can see the pucker right there, but you can easily pull it out. See how I just eliminated that pucker? But it was nothing like how it looked at first. And yes, it is long enough. It goes all the way down to my waist. And like I said, it doesn't have to come all the way across because food will drop right down the center. And so I think it's the perfect bib for me. I like how it turned out. I put my watermelon seeds on it. That took almost longer than it did to make the bib. And so it is complete. So here it is. We'll keep it on for a while so you can look at it. The watermelon bib, y'all. The watermelon bib. Okay. And like I said, I started on this that very night when I did the video telling you about what I was going to be doing and everything. Why do I seem like I'm in the metaverse? Okay, there's my arm. I couldn't see it at first. I'm like, okay, why am I still in the metaverse? Okay, let me stop. Anyway, so, yep, this is it. And yeah, the back looks bad, so I might put a lining on it or something to cover the back because I sewed the watermelon seeds on with yarn instead of using the beads. It would have looked a lot neater had I done that. Ooh, and it's cold in here. I've got the fans on because it got hot today, but it's time to cut them off now because it's 6 o'clock and it will be dark within the next hour and the temperatures will really drop. I'm covering up because I'm not dressed the best today. Yes, I'm lounging. After the cleaning and stuff, I cooked and everything, so dinner is now ready. So after I finish this video, I will be eating supper before it gets too late. But anyway, yeah, I'm covered up. For one, because I'm cold, and two, I'm dressed like this. So please pardon me. Okay, so like I said, I did some cleaning. I put away a lot of stuff, all those shawls I had over here. I put that stuff away in my special shawl box, which is in the back room. I kept my blankets out. Our weather is supposed to go wonkers this week. Today we hit 86. We've been in the high 80s for the past week. And I hear another hurricane is on the way, which is a category 1 right now. And I forgot the name that they gave it. But anyway, so I'm paying attention to that. But as of Tuesday, it's supposed to be a washout with rain and a high of only 66. Tomorrow is supposed to be 82, I believe, which is nice. And then from Tuesday on, well, Tuesday 66, and from then on, it's going to be in the low 50s to the low 60s to high 50s. So our first frost should be hitting this week. So I plan to go out on tomorrow and tear down the majority of my garden. I will leave the tomatoes to see what happens, but once the frost hit, it will kill the plants. So I'm gonna go and harvest everything that I can. I do have some stuff that can be harvested right now. I have peppers and an eggplant, a few red tomatoes. Most of them are green. I will harvest the green ones if I have to. I'm going to plant out my onions. I always plant the Irish way, which means you plant onion and garlic in the fall, and it comes up in the spring for a June harvest. So you'll get that early harvest. So Garden 2026 will be starting hopefully on tomorrow or Wednesday, but it's going to be cold. So, yep. But I do plan to get the garden tables cleaned out on tomorrow so that the beds will be prepped and ready. I can amend the soil and have that ready. Then when it rains so much on Tuesday, then it will seep the fertilizers into the soil, and then I can get ready to plant my onions and garlic. Okay. I found some extra yarn because I told you guys that, I told you that I'm going to be making an extra hat for my great nephew, a lion's hat, if I can find the yarn. I haven't even started with the search yet. And I told you about my neighbor who I will be making a hat and scarf for. So that's next on the agenda, and I'll probably go out on tomorrow, more than likely. Tomorrow, or I'm not going out Tuesday if it's raining. And if it's not raining Tuesday, if it's just cloudy, oh, I'm hitting the lake one more time. But anyway, if it'll probably be Wednesday. So I'm going to go probably to Michael's to look for the yarn. I'm quite sure I can find something other than loops and threads. I hope it's not going to be just a choice of loops and threads. If it is, I'm going to take my behind to Hobby Lobby. Sorry for those of you boycotting. Time is of the essence, and I need the best yarn, and I don't want to order online. I want to buy it in person so I can feel the yarn, look at it, and decide whether or not I want to purchase it. But in the meantime, I found some old yarn. I found this a while ago, but actually there was some more to it, so I never worked with this yarn because I knew I needed to find the other ball that I have. Well, I'm happy to say that while going through the closet, I found that extra ball. So I actually added it to the ball that I had, which was smaller, and it gave me this larger ball that you see here. This yarn, I forgot the name of it, but it was very, very thin. It's 50% alpaca and 50% silk. And I bought this when our Good Yarn store closed. We used to have a yarn boutique in Rochester Hills. They moved to Birmingham, the ritzy neighborhood, and they stopped selling yarn altogether. They just do stamping and other crafts, mostly paper crafts. So stamping is the main thing now, and they closed back in 2015. So it's been 10 years since the place closed. So while they were closing, I went in there on the very last day, and I decided to see what they had, and they had this yarn. And it was like 50 cents a ball regularly. I think the regular price of it was like 12 or 13 back then for a ball of it. So I bought all of them. I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do with this. And later down the pike, I decided this yarn is just too thin to work with. So I tripled it. So you're looking at a triple strand. And so the colors, mixed in together because it is a variegated. And some of them, like with that neuro blanket, comes together, and then some of it, is separate. But that's okay. I don't mind it looking like this. It's very soft. And so I decided now I can make my gigantic diamond mesh shawl. So it's I chained 250, and this is going to get me far because thinner yarn goes a long way. So I'm currently on row 6. Wait, 1, 2, 3. I'm currently on row 4. And so this is how it looks. I tried it on to measure it, so it's very long. I chained 240, either 240 or 250. And it's going to be in the rectangular shape. And it's going to have a beautiful drape and all that good stuff. And like I said, it's nice and soft silk and alpaca, and I want it to be extra wide so that I'm gonna call it the piece, because I will use it for everything. I will be able to snoot it, of course. I will be able to wrap it around, and it'll be a thick wrap. I'll be able to wear it as a shawl. I will be able to do whatever I want with it. And so we'll see how wide it gets. We already know how long it's gonna be. And so I have all of this to go through, and it's going to take a while. I haven't even put a dent in this yarn, and I'm already on row 4. I've used very little. I only pulled out one, you know how you pull it out as you're going along. I only pulled one time, and it has gotten me all of this. And when usually you're constantly pulling because you run out of yarn. Well, not with this. So we'll see how this goes, but this is what I'm working on, and I will put it down once I get the yarn for the hats and scarves, and then I will continue with this. So in the meantime, I put away the African yarn. First of all, I have until February to do it, but who says I have to wear it in February? Plus, it won't even be shawl season. But if I were to go to an event, which I don't plan on doing, not this February, I know. But if something ever comes up where I need the African colors or an event, I have the shawl. That's the main thing. So really, there's no rush on it. I ended up doubling up that cotton yarn, and I started to use, instead of the diamond mesh, and I still may do it, the Agatha's Reading Shawl by Ophelia Talks. If you haven't seen that tutorial, just pull up Ophelia Talks Agatha's Reading Shawl, or just pull up Reading Shawl, and it will come up, and you will also see videos of others who have made that shawl. But she was the one who created the pattern, and then she did the tutorial on it a couple of years ago, and I've made a couple since then, and I love it. And she used a thicker yarn for it, and so I decided to double it, and I said, I can do this reading shawl instead of the diamond mesh. So I still haven't made my final decision yet. I may just do the reading shawl with those colors, and I think it'll be nice. Okay, so that's, virtual reality. So I'm gonna try to keep that short. Okay, and then the preliminaries will be over with. So here is the box that the MetaQuest came in, and as you can see, fairly new. I paid a fraction of the cost of what they normally cost. I had mentioned that they normally cost $600. The MetaQuest 3 actually is what costs $599, and as you know, $600. Well, the MetaQuest, I purchased the MetaQuest 3S, and the S stands for simplified, which means it's pretty much all you do is plug it in, and to get it set up, all the tutorials appear right in front of you. It tells you step by step what to do, how to do it, where to click. It was so easy to set up, and it only took minutes. The longest part was downloading the app on my phone for Meta Horizons, and that's where you get your games and everything. And so it was very, very simple. So the S that stands for simplified, yes, they simplified it. So it's a lot cheaper. It costs, the MetaQuest Simplified is half of the cost brand new. If you were buying it like at Best Buy or some tech store, you would pay half of what you would pay for the MetaQuest 3 alone. And so they said newcomers is best. Newcomers, I don't know why I keep saying newcomers, but newcomers, they say, it's always best to start with the MetaQuest 3S, because you're still learning, you're researching, you're getting used to the metaverse and all of that. So this is what I've got. And so as you can see, it is brand spanking new. And so I was happy to get it. And actually, I was able to get this at half of the cost of what it would cost new anywhere else, because I bought it used at the game store, but it hasn't been used. So it's as if I got a brand new MetaQuest S, and hair is all over it thanks to the mop. I got a brand new MetaQuest 3S for half of, so I could say I got it for 50% off, which wasn't bad at all. It didn't break the bank, let's put it that way. Okay, so I have decided, because after I purchased this and got it uploaded, you know, everything hooks to your internet, your phone, and all that. All of a sudden, all these videos that I had, you know, because I was doing the research and searching, and all of a sudden, all these videos that hadn't come up in my research or searches started coming up. It talked about the dangers of MetaQuest, and that was particularly geared towards young people, but I listened to, because an old person can go through it too. It talked about how it can isolate you, because you can do everything in the metaverse, and that's what they call it, the metaverse. You can shop, you can see things ahead of time, like with the travel app. If it's a place you may want to go or visit, you can look at it and travel it in the metaverse, and then decide if you want to do the trip in reality. Well, shopping, you can order online, through your credit card, through the metaverse. They have theaters, you can watch movies, and a lot of apps are paid, but they're not that expensive. I bought one app, and I'm gonna tell you about it in a minute. And I plan to buy the Eclipse app. That app is $2.99 for me, because I clicked on friends that I saw that were in the metaverse. And each time you click on a friend, you get meta points, which can be turned into cash for app purchases. That's a way to keep people buying. And so I want to buy the Eclipse app, which is normally $4. Right now, I have $2 in Meta Cash, I guess that's what it's called or whatever. So I can buy that Eclipse app for $2. I just haven't done it yet. And the Eclipse app is from where someone went and filmed the eclipses of 2017 and 2024. Which is the one that I actually saw. And so I decided, let me study this and read the reviews first. And I read the reviews, which is, it was thousands, okay? I didn't read them all, but I stayed in the metaverse to read the reviews of that. And I said, I'll buy it later because I want to read a few more. Every review from people who have actually seen the eclipse. There were people in there who saw the eclipse of 2017. In fact, one person who saw the eclipse said that he was in such a poor spot that although he witnessed the eclipse, he said it was even better in the metaverse because there were no obstructions of people. And so he was able to view it, and he said it was the closest thing to the real thing that he had ever seen. He said and I've said, pictures and video does not do the eclipse justice until you've seen one with your naked eye. The camera cannot pick up what your naked eye picks up when seeing the eclipse. But with the metaverse version, first of all, you're seeing it in 3D, and whatever technology they use, it's the closest thing that you can get to the naked eye. We'll put it that way. It's high-powered 3D and all that. And you're seeing the actual thing because someone has filmed it, and then they did whatever they do with it to use it for the app. And so I'm really curious now, and I want to see it. But I'm still adjusting to it. As far as my review is concerned, I like it. In fact, when I did the tutorial, where it walked me through getting it set up, it goes, now it's time. We're going to visit the metaverse. So it said, click here and you will get a glimpse of the metaverse. I prefer what they call the it's called mixed reality. The metaverse takes you out of the reality of where you're at. You cannot see anything. Everything you see around me, I can see it. If I put these goggles on and go into the metaverse, everything disappears. Everything. So you are in the middle of wherever you have decided to go. So if you decided to go to the forest, all of a sudden it tricks your brain into feeling that you are actually in the middle of a forest. Okay, it's all 360. You see it all around you. You turn your head, you see what's over this way. You look up, you see what's up in the sky. You look down, you see what's on the ground, and you're like, okay. And you have to get used to it. I found that out when I went into the metaverse. Where did it take me? It took me into another living room. So it had the couches there and chairs and, everything you would find like in a living room or in a room, so to speak, a sitting room. And I felt like I was actually in the sitting room. I could look all around. I looked out the window at the lake. I saw the green grass, the sun shining, and I was like, wow. When I first saw that, I was like, whoa. And so then, okay, I come out because it brings you out. It tells you, okay, click here, and this is how you exit the metaverse. And so I pressed the button that it said to exit the metaverse. So when I put it, it says now you are you're in mixed reality. So it kept me in the metaverse but I could see everything around me in my living room. That's the setting I prefer. Now, there are a few things like the app that I got that will not allow the mixed reality. You are actually in the metaverse. And so that's what I've been using that app daily for 5 to 10 minutes to get accustomed to it. You have to get it used to it because it is intense, especially when if you move around and you're not moving around, but you're moving your controller, which is taking you, to your next spot and whatnot. You have to get used to that because you actually feel like you're kind of floating. And there is a way. I'm going to pull up a tutorial on how to use the Wonder app. That's the app that I got. It's called Wonder. And that's the app that it's a globe of the whole world. The world, okay? I mean, no spot untouched. The whole world. Every city, every state, every country, everything. And so all you have to do when the globe comes up, you can zoom it in or zoom it out, and you click wherever it is you want to go. And when you get there, then your little sub windows come up. All the other stuff disappears. You're just in the middle of wherever you've decided to go. So when your sub windows come up, you can click. Do you want to visit museums? Do you want to take a tour of the countryside? Do you want to go to this city or whatever? You have all these options in one country. So I chose the United States. So I went to Oklahoma. I was like, okay, yeah, this is Oklahoma, because I chose areas that I have actually been, and there it was. I went to Ohio, Michigan, because of course I live here. I went to California today. Today I went to California, but I didn't visit any cities. I just decided to go through the tutorial, hoping that it will be something there that would teach me how to get to the ground, because that's what I don't know how to do. So I feel like I'm in the air looking above. Now I can zoom in, but I should be able to stand there or appear to be standing there and walk straight ahead. So while I'm up in the air, I can walk, I can turn around, I can, see everything. And if I want to see something to the left, to the right, above me, I can do all that. So the one question I have is, okay, how do you land yourself to the ground? I haven't figured that out yet. And I'm quite sure it's going to be with the controllers, which are very, very simple and easy to work. So you have your right and your left. You have the back button, and it fits perfectly in your hand. This is the left. As you can see, it fits perfectly. So I could take my fingers and do this. And then I have my thumb area. I can use my middle finger for this too. I've got the thumb area. This is what moves me forward, the little joystick. And then you have your A, B on the right, Y, Z on the left. And so it's one of those buttons that will do it. I was clicking around and stuff, but then I was trying to read the directions. It'll be easier just for me to go to YouTube University and see it demonstrated, and then I will know. Then yesterday, I couldn't get out of the metaverse. There I was in the middle of Ohio and could not escape the metaverse. And I was starting to get overwhelmed and it's intense. And so I can only do a few minutes because I'm getting myself accustomed to it. I've had no dizziness. I've had no motion sickness, but it is intense because when you're looking at it's like you're looking at stuff in real life. Eventually you want to kind of look away, but you can't because everything is around you. So you can close your eyes and do it, but when you open your eyes, it's right back at you. I wanted to be able to switch. I said either realities, and that's when I found out you can't switch the realities while you're in the Travel Wander app, which was okay. But I was like, but how do I switch out of it? I couldn't figure it out for the life of me. So I just took off the headphones and turned it off. And then I went to YouTube University and I found out how you switch it off. There's a button right here, right? This button right here. If you press that, it will take you out of the metaverse immediately. Well, today, when I was in the metaverse in California, I'm trying to find the doggone button so I can come out of it because my 10 minutes were up. I don't go over my time limit. I'm trying to find the button and couldn't find it. I'm all over the thing. So finally I took it off and then I saw the button. So then I put it back on, put my hand on the button, pressed it because I wanted to make sure it was going to take me out the metaverse. And it did. The battery's charging now. Actually, I was on it about a good 15 minutes today. So I've increased. So I'll increase each day. The one thing I will need to purchase, and I'm going to do that this week at Best Buy. I said I can go on and charge that because it's cheap. You can buy a battery pack that fits right in here, and the battery pack will give you like 6 hours of battery life. The battery that comes with the MetaQuest, I found out after the fact, is very short-lived. You get maybe 30 minutes at the most before you have to recharge, and then it takes forever to recharge. So if you invest in the battery pack, it comes with a set of 4 mAh batteries, and they're very compatible to this, and they last longer. And then you put them on your charger. You know, if it goes down, usually they say the batteries will last for quite some time, and you have 2 sets. So you charge them overnight, so then you have 2 sets. So let's say you get 6 hours out of one set of batteries, which they said you will get. Then you switch to the other set. Once those go down, put the other ones on the charger, and then you can get more time on it. Although I'm not going to be playing it that much time, but it's going to be nice to know that for the length of time that I do want to play it, I don't have to worry about my battery percentage going down on this. So I am going to invest. It's from what I saw in the video, they say the battery packs cost about $13. Well, heck, that's about how much you pay for Energizer or Duracell batteries anyway. So I said, okay, so I'll get the battery pack. I will invest in that. And so I'll go to Best Buy tomorrow or whenever I go out, Wednesday or whatever, and check. And then they said you want, so that you have more comfort, and for $13, around $13 to $20, you can get a new head strap. And so they have the kind that are plastic that you can pull out, easily put your goggles on. It's cushioned in the back for comfort, and it keeps you from getting a headache, and it also keeps you from getting, if you get seasickness or vertigo, it keeps you from getting that because it holds your goggles still enough to where your eyes are focused. And so you usually will not get motion sickness nor dizziness. But with this, the thing can move around, and I found myself needing to adjust because it's moved, and then I end up having to tighten it from the front and the back because my wig causes it to move around and everything, and then it'll go kind of blurry because I'm not focused in, and so I have to get it back in focus. And so that's where you can start getting dizzy and stuff, but I haven't had that problem yet because, like I said, I'm spending very little time on it. But like I said, the apps about the dangers of MetaQuest, that helped me because they were saying, particularly younger people, they get addicted to it, and they end up staying like in the metaverse for everything that they do, and they become isolated. They lose contact with the world because their friends are on the MetaQuest, but they're not getting the social stimulation. They're not, doing interactions with people socially or whatever, and it has become a danger for some. I saw some videos where people say, I spent 80 hours straight in the metaverse, and I'm like, how did you do that? And so what they do is they click off the metaverse to mixed reality, so you can get up, get your food, eat, see what's going around you, but you're still in the metaverse. I don't want to do nothing like that. Also, this came with, when I set it up, it has like a health feature on it. So, because I was wondering, okay, so they got all these elderly people in the metaverse and stuff. How are they doing it and keeping them from getting seasickness, motion sickness, and things like that? Well, there's a medical thing built into the system. So I clicked on it. So it had vision, it had hearing, audio or auditory, and it also had mobility. So I clicked it, and it's asking you basically if you have any health problems with any of these. Do you have any of these issues, health? So of course I clicked mobility. So I didn't get to set the big giant perimeter around my room, which in my room is too small for that anyway, but you set your perimeter to keep you from getting injured. A lot of young people or those who are up moving around. I didn't get to do that because the game knows that I'm sitting down. And so when I look for games. It kind of lets you know if that's one that they would advise you to play or not. So basically, it's like a scale. If you click in it on your profile, it's weird, but I did it. It's not weird, but it's kind of complicated for me to explain. But it keeps me from going outside of my boundaries of what I want to do. Because remember, I said I'm riding that roller coaster, knowing good and darn well I'm afraid of heights and things like that. So that is one that will give me the warning if I were to ever. Now, you can still do it, but it lets you know, okay, this is one you might not want to bother with, And so if I'm using my common sense, I will take heed and not do it. The horror ones. And then my nephew, we were talking today, the one who's played it, and he was over at his friends this weekend, and he decided to do the haunted house or something crazy. I was like, why would you do that? He's like, it was horrible. He was like, I will never do that again. I was like, see, I'm staying away from all that demonic stuff. And that's another thing I was going to mention about the metaverse. You have to be very careful with it. This is my own opinion. And I say that because after watching the dangers and seeing it for myself, because I had never been to the metaverse, I can very well see, just like there's good and evil in reality, there's even more evil in unreality. It's so much stuff that's I would consider as from the way I was raised as a Christian, that is something that I would not do as a Christian. For instance, sorcery and things like that. You have all these titles, the occult. I mean, it's just endless. I'm steering away from that. I'm not even, right now, I haven't even tried a game. And they have puzzle games and little games that seniors can play. I haven't even ventured into that part of it yet. Right now, I chose, as my interest, I chose educational, and I also chose travel. Adventure, which had the subtitle of travel. That's basically all I'm going to be doing on this. Later, once I get the battery pack, I may venture off into the senior games, or they have like your memory games, those type of things. You hear nothing but good things about seniors and VR. And they have like they have the home theater. Oh, you can also hook up with your friends. Like if somebody's in the metaverse, you click on them. You can go to a concert together in the metaverse where it puts you right there, front row at the concert. Actual musicians have done concerts, which they've allowed. I don't know if they're getting paid, probably so, to have their concert put into the metaverse. And so basically, the concert is filmed and stuff. And so if you and a friend, you have two avatars. I have my avatar, my friend would have theirs. We could choose to go, let's say Madonna. We go to a Madonna concert. And so we get into the metaverse. She's at her house at the concert. I'm at my house at the concert. We can click on our microphone and talk. Through the handsets, we can hear each other talking. And we're enjoying the concert together. You can visit museums together, travel together, anything in the metaverse you can do with friends or people you meet on there or whatever, if you have the same interests and things like that. And so it's very, 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 very interesting. And I'm still baffled as to how they created this metaverse. And so I'm being very careful how I navigate it, because I'm in the universe that God created according to my beliefs. So I can't get hooked up into something fake where they're not trying to perfect or improve on what God created. No, it's just basically, it allows you to explore when you would normally not be able to explore. Let's put it that way. I don't think they tried to add or take away to what we already have. How can you? Because no one has created anything. There's nothing under the sun that hasn't already been created by our Father, So therefore, but you have to be careful, because you don't want to get too caught up in it either. And so I said, for education, for the senior stuff, you hear nothing but good things, and I have nothing but good things to say. I would give this a 10 out of 10. I would not tell somebody not to get one because, of all this other stuff that's there. I just avoid it. And when your menu come up, you avoid it. There's no way I'm going to venture into the evils of they have like escape rooms and walk the plank and all this other stuff. I'm not venturing into that stuff. They have this one called Face Your Fears, and it's a whole title, a whole menu of stuff that you might be afraid of. They got roaches, spiders. I did check, because you can check out any app. All you have to do is hold your thing over it, and then it comes up. It tells you what it's about and everything. I saw that mess. I'm like, nope, nope, nope. Don't want that. Fear of flying, all that stuff. I'm not trying to face my fears. Okay? So then they have it's a lot of learning apps. Doctors use VR for training now, so they have a lot of surgical apps. I'm not trying to look at that either because I don't want to see the gore of a surgery. They even have time machine apps where you can go back in time. It's this one, and I said, and see, I put that in the evil category. Why would someone create an app of 1963, the Kennedy assassination? So you can travel to Dallas, Texas. I forget what month he passed because I wasn't born. He passed in 63. I was born in 64. I could travel back to the day and go to the exact area according to the thing where it happened and then see it. I don't want to see nothing like that. No, I don't want to see surgeries. So you have to be very careful as to what you're deciding, what you want to do in the metaverse. So I'm keeping it sweet. Like I said, I said that, I'll do the carnival later. I just won't do the roller coaster. I want to do the water park. I think that will be easy for me once I get accustomed to it, and that'll be later. And a lot of this stuff is free, or you can visit it for free and do whatever. You don't, and then some are paid. I'm going to do the piano app. I have a keyboard in there because I've tried to learn how to play piano since I was a kid and never could get past middle C. Well, I'm going to try it again in the metaverse because all I have to do is move my fingers in the air. I have the little keyboard there, and if I can learn it on that, then I will be able to walk into my room where my keyboard sits and play it. So if I can learn it that way, because I used to be intimidated by the keys of the piano, and I could never get my hand coordination straight. And you can use your hands in the metaverse too. If you choose not to, and I did put that as an option, so I can switch back and forth. If I don't feel like using the remote control, I can use my hands in the metaverse, and it shows ghost hands. So I can wiggle my fingers, and I see my hands. They're my actual hands in 3D, so it looks like ghost hands. So with the piano one, I will use my hands, and even for anything in there, you just point. You point, or you can pinch your finger and open something, a sub window or whatever. You have your X to go out of it. All kind of stuff. You're seeing this right in front of you, and it's just amazing. It's amazing. It's as if something just appears in front of you, and there it is, which is normally invisible. It's hard to explain. Unless you've done VR, then it's no way I can even adequately explain it to you. So we're going to wind that down. But I like it. I will continue to use it. I will just be careful with it, and I will be overly disciplined with it. And even once I get more accustomed, and I noticed that I'm getting more and more accustomed because all that time I spent in the metaverse today, I spent twice as much time. I have been spending anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes a day just getting used to it, looking around, exploring, that type of thing. I've been in mixed reality, and like I said, with that Wander app, which is the travel app, you cannot do mixed reality. So like I said, I spent 10 minutes in it. It began to overwhelm me. Today, it really didn't overwhelm me. It was just that I wanted to get out of it. And I knew I needed to get that figured out and then I watched that tutorial yesterday. So I wanted to test that out, and I still couldn't find the button. And so I had to take it off. But I was able to easily put the headphones back on. And when I did it, before I pressed the button, since I knew where it was, I started looking around, and I was still trying to figure out, and I will do the tutorial for that this evening. I was trying to figure out, okay, how do I land? So once I get that figured out, oh, it's on and popping. So I can go on to my 20 minutes a day, which I plan not to go over. Hopefully I won't go over that. Oh, like I said, you have theaters, you have concerts, even movies that are playing at the theater now. You can buy the movie on your MetaQuest, see the movie from your home, and invite a friend who's also in the metaverse. So let's say Jen, we'll take you for example, Easy Street with Jen. I can say, Jen, and she's in a totally different state from me. I was like, Jen, you want to see Austin Powers 6? Let's just make up a movie. And then if Jen say, yeah, let's watch that. Okay. Jen would have her avatar. I would have mine. We would meet at the Metaverse Theater. We'll just name it that. And then we take our seats next to each other. Our avatars will be next to each other. We click on our microphone, and Jen and I would be able to talk in real life, in real time, while we're viewing this new movie that just came out. So that's a way of, a lot of older people said that they've gotten with their grandkids that live out of the state, out of the country, and they viewed a movie, attended a concert, did all kind of activities together through the avatar, through the metaverse. I think that's neat for people who normally cannot see certain loved ones. I have cousins and stuff and whatnot. I'm quite sure somebody's in the metaverse, so I'm going to find out who, and then we will do that. And I will also do that with friends. I found 15 thus far that's in the metaverse, and I haven't clicked on everyone. I just clicked on 2 to see how it worked. And when I got that dollar for each one that takes money off of apps. So I'm going to buy the piano app. The piano app is $9. The Wander app, and it's worth every penny, was $9. And then the Eclipse app is normally $4. So with the $2 off, I can get that for $2. And so I'm going to collect more meta bucks or whatever. I'm quite sure to get harder as I go along. And then I'll save. Oh, and then they offer so many freebies. I have uploaded free stuff like National Geographic, stuff that have you ever watched those nature things that be on where you have the narrator that tells you about the animals and the bees and everything out in the wild? Well, you're out there and he's narrating. So it's like watching it on TV. What did they used to call that? Wild Kingdom. You can go to the zoo. A lot of the stuff is free. You can go to museums. You can go to fairs, all kind of stuff. You name it. Anything that happens in real life, you can go to it in the metaverse. And a lot of stuff have narration, and that's the free. I did YouTube, couldn't pull up my channel, but channels that are 360 or metaverse compatible or whatever, you can watch. Like one of my farming channels, I was able to watch in the metaverse. It was as if I was standing on the farm watching it. It was beautiful. Okay, and then Netflix, you have Netflix, so I uploaded that because I have Netflix. I uploaded the Amazon Prime because I have that. My Discovery Plus, all the apps that I have on my smart TV, which is connected to my thing now. I can get all that stuff in VR if it's made available. So I got all that. So now if I watch it, I'd rather watch it on my TV because of the heavy, bulky headphones, until I can get the comfort thing. Then maybe, or if it's something that I really want to watch and I think it would look better, for instance, the Super Bowl, when that comes up, it's going to look better in the metaverse watching that. And they got the sports app too. And those apps are very, very cheap. Some of them are free. Most of them are free. And so, because you already have it. So they offer it to you free in the metaverse. But it's some programming that you may have to pay for. So that's what you have to watch out for, So I'm not going to be spending a lot of money with it. So I'm heading for the free stuff. But if it's something that would really benefit me or interest me, and it's some things like the piano that will benefit me. So I think that's worth getting. So that out of my allowance later this month, I will get the piano app. And I saw a few other ones that really interest me. And I saw a few others that would benefit me as well. Okay, I've talked too long about this, but I just kind of wanted to give my review of it, especially if someone older, because I am going to tag, or not tag, but I'll hashtag metaverse for seniors or whatever, my opinion. So I'm quite sure other seniors who are interested in it, because more and more seniors are purchasing this, and more nursing homes. They're being used in hospitals now. They have found that it has helped with people with anxiety. It has helped with people who are ill. It's used as part of the physical and occupational therapy in the nursing homes. It has triggered a part of the brain that brings back memories, and they have found that people who had lost total touch with what's going on around them, around their children, put on the headsets, and suddenly a memory will come back and they'll start discussing it, something that they may not have discussed in years. For that, I say it's a huge blessing. But for that other stuff, you have to be careful. Okay, I'm going to put you on pause because it has gotten dark. It's not totally dark, but it's dark in here, and I want you all to be able to see the happy mail, so let's move on to that. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. Wait a minute, 30 minutes later. It was getting dark, and so when I looked at the clock, it was almost 7 o'clock, and then I looked at this clock, and I was like, oh, I've been on 50 minutes talking about this doggone metaverse, so I'm sorry about that, y'all, because I didn't mean for it to go that long. But a lot of y'all say y'all like when I go long with the with the storytelling, so there it is. So let me know if you planned or plan to do some more with the metaverse. What's your plans with it? Just want to know. Okay, so, ooh, and look at here, y'all. The battery is charged. Wait, I don't see it. Right here. So you know what that means. When I get off from here, after I eat, I might relax in the metaverse for a while. Just after I pull up the tutorial. Because once I do that, and if I learn how to land while I'm doing the travel, I want to at least try it out. So I'll do 10 minutes. Okay, let's get to the happy mail, you guys. That's what you've probably been waiting on. Moving my walker out the way so I don't knock the phone over. I moved the package over because I needed to use the walker when I had to go. Why it took me so long, I had to go close up the house because I had the back door open, I had the side door open. Then I was washing. I had this shawl, and I'll tell you about it real quick before we get to the mail call. This shawl, I made it back in, it was probably 20, remember that yarn? I can't remember the year, but remember that yarn that came out by Red Heart? It was called Red Heart. I called it Hygge, but they called it something else. Hygge or something, but it was spelled Hygge, I believe. And it was like a fuzzy yarn. It was really, really cute, but it was thick and it was real fuzzy and it was very, very soft. And it was expensive too. I remember that because it didn't stay on the market long. Anyway, I had made a shawl. I had actually made a blanket with it for my mother, but it was too heavy. So then I ended up making her another blanket, you know, that was lighter. And then I decided to keep that, and the blanket was too heavy for me. So I took part of it down and I reworked it into a rectangular shawl because the YouTube video is, I think it's still on YouTube. If you pull up Red Heart Hygge, Hygge yarn, it's a tutorial there where a lady did a knitting tutorial where she made a shawl in that pink color. And so I loved it. I loved the drape on it. I mean, she really did a good job with it. So the stitch she used, I don't know what it was, but it was similar to the half double crochet. So I went on and did it. I reworked it, took it down, reworked it into a shawl using the half double crochet, and I made this thing long and very wide. So it's almost still like a blanket. Because if I put it across me vertically, it will still cover me from side to side, and it's long. But when I put it around my shoulders, I can double it up. And so I usually wear that in the wintertime. But last year I couldn't find it, so I never wore it. So this year I happen to be, every time I'm looking for something else, I find something that I had been looking for. So I was in my closet looking to see if I maybe had some gray yarn for my nephew, you know, because if you want to avoid buying things, you know, if you don't have to. And so while I was in the closet, I found the shawl. It was actually hanging up on a hanger. I had it hanging in that back closet. And so, actually, I put it there last year when I did the Swedish death cleaning, but I had forgotten. And so when I was looking for it during the winter, it never dawned on me to look back in the closet. So when I found it, I took it out. I saw that it was dirty, so I washed it on today. So while I was doing all the stuff for that 30 minutes while I had you guys pause, I had to take it out the washer and put it in the dryer. So that's where it's at now. Okay, now let's get on to the gettings. Okay, as I said, this package, and I have no idea what's in it. I decided to wait until today to open it since I knew I would be coming on. But the package arrived on yesterday while I was filming the ostomy episode. And so, hold on. I was getting my scissors. And a lot of other things came out. I don't know where this magnet came from, but this magnet has just, oh, you know what? I took my magnets into the kitchen to put on the fridge. I bet you this came from the back of one of those. So I'll check them and see. Let me just set it there for now. Okay, so yeah, this came while I was doing that film. And I thought it was for my, it was that part that I ordered for my, the accessory rather, that I ordered for my walker. But it wasn't. It was this package from Miss Debbie Carroll, and she lives in New York. And so I didn't even know she had my address. So anyway, it arrived. It's a total surprise. I have no idea what's in it. Okay, so let's see what's in the Happy Mail, and let's sing the song, you guys. Alrighty, it's mail call, and I don't need the scissors because I have this little thing right here. It's mail call, it's mail call. Look what I got in the mail today or yesterday. It's mail call, it's mail call. I'm so happy today. All right, and this box is heavy too, so here we go. Here we go. Alrighty. I'm ripping it open. Uh-oh. And I love, wait a minute, before we can go any further, she wrapped this thing, didn't she? I love wrap. I love seeing nice wrapping because I'm not a wrapper. I've tried wrapping gifts and they always come out looking horrible. My mother wouldn't even let me wrap gifts when I was younger because we would all sit around for friends and family and stuff, wrapping gifts. My job was the gopher, okay? Alrighty, there's another box here, so let's see what happens there. It says fragile. Oops. Well, I hope it's just a box that says fragile and it's not fragile because this has been handled, okay? By me and the mailman. Okay, now here we go again. I actually need the magoos on. And I'm being very, very careful. Okay. Getting good with these scissors. And yes, I still have my blotter that Jen sent me. But I haven't practiced with it, which I said I was going to do with that blade. So that's why I have the scissors today. I'm going to pause you because y'all see what's happening. Okay, I'm back. All right, I got it to this point, so I feel I can probably get it now. Okay, I had to be very careful with it because I didn't know if something could be cut or what. And there's going to be some more mail call this week because someone informed me that there's a package on the way. So I'll be back with another mail call in a few days here, probably midweek. Okay, yep, I was able to get this. Okay, so let's do it. I'll let y'all see it before I look. Uh-oh. There we go. Here we go. Whoa! This is nice. Okay, it has paper over it, so I don't know what it is. First of all, it says Q. And I'll look at the card. See, I hadn't put the magoos on all day. Not during this video. There's a lot of stuff in here, so get ready. It says, hello, and it's a happy face. Look at there. Look at there, y'all. Okay, I'm reading the card. Alrighty, it's a nice card. And so when she was telling me, I won't read the whole thing. It took a minute. But she was saying that she's so happy that she found my channels because she's a subscriber to both. So I might have to do this as a dual video since she's a member of both channels. And she put, I am a hippie girl like you. And then she told me what age she turned. And she said, let's see. She told me I'm kind-hearted and as funny as hell. I guess y'all be laughing at me, huh? And then it's and so she went through tours through the store and she kept me in the mind with things. And she said, I may send to you. Enjoy them all. May God bless you and peace out. Love always, Debbie Carroll. I didn't read the whole thing, you guys. I just read parts of it. But here is the card right here. And I love this happy face. So this will go in on my wall of fame, which is the refrigerator with those hippie magnets. So let's put this to the side. And my other cards are there too. So this will go there too. Let's put it back in the thing and let's go through the gifts, you guys. I guess this video ended up over an hour after all, huh? But it wouldn't be a cute video otherwise. So let's look at this one first. It's a bag and I love this bag. It says good stuff inside. So let's see what it is. I'm opening it. I gotta put on the, well, nah. I may not need the magoos. Okay, this is in the tissue paper, so let's see what's in here. And I thank you so much, Debbie. I really thank you. I appreciate it. Y'all really know how to make my day. Y'all been doing it up. Girl. 1, 2. Let's see, we got 1, 2, 3. We're going to set this down because I'm opening every one at a time. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 gifts in one gift. Wait a minute. I'm going to keep this tissue paper and definitely the bag. So let's open them up. Girl, you had some time on your hands, just like Anonymous in California. Y'all know y'all be rapping. Y'all know what I would have been doing? Putting everything in a towel and saying, sayonara. Oh my God. Oh my God. Woo. If this is a stitch marker, let me put on the magoo so I can find out. They are. Girl, thank you. Oh, I'm sorry. They're earrings. You probably thought that I was going to think they were stitch markers. Guess what? They might get used as stitch markers. Happy face. Oh, they are so cute. Oh my God. So I'm going to drop these right in the bag. I'm going to remove the tissue paper. Okay, let's get to the next one. Yeah, y'all, this is going to be a double video. So before I get off, I'm going to have to pause it so I can make this 2-in-1 for the gardening channel because I made the pepper sauce, y'all. So I want y'all to see it before we get off. Okay, here's, no, oh man, this is absolutely gorgeous. Girl, and see, you live in New York, so you can find stuff like this. See, stuff like this don't exist in Michigan. It says Yarnology, 3 sizes. It's a crochet keychain. Look at that, y'all. That is absolutely gorgeous. Okay, I'm just keeping the magoos on, y'all. Next one. And I'm so old, I'm slow. Okay, this one. It says Adam Child Enamel Pen. This is cute. I don't know. I can't even see it with the magoos, but oh, it's a happy face. So this will go on the crochet bag along, wait, oh yeah, it's got the things, along with the yarn chicken, and it matches perfectly. See that? The name of this is Atomic Child. That's the name of it, but it's actually a happy face, you guys. Beautiful. Next one. Oh my God, is this what I think it is? This looks like the peace sign, y'all. My crochet bag is gonna be hippified. All this is going around. I'm gonna pin all those to the crochet bag. And that keychain can go around the strap of the crochet bag. Here we go again. Yes, yes, yes. Aha! You got me, girl. You got me. Stitch markers. And they're the same as the earrings. So, okay. So the earrings will be used as earrings, and the stitch markers, the happy face stitch markers, will be used as stitch markers.